the champion of the universe, or one could say the fallen one. He's one of those beings that likes going around boxing it up with the strongest being throughout the galaxy and universe, and one could say even tournament type fashion. Although it may seem noble of him going around fighting the best fighters or strongest fighters, one could argue he does it for some type of bullying though. For one, I mean, he's fought powerful beings like Thor, but when beings like the Hulk pulled up on him, he was like, he doesn't want to fight a mindless brute, he says, or is it that he didn't want none of that power? You know what I mean? And that's his real name. For one, we know he has battle experience because he has a whole bunch of years being alive, one of the oldest living beings in the universe, having been amongst the first of the universe's races to become sentient in the wake of the Big Bang itself. Truly immortal, he grew bored, decided to devote himself to physical self-perfection. After training himself for millennia, he set forth to learn all the methods of physical combat in all known galaxies, so he's a great fighter. Now he travels from one inhabited planet to the next, challenging the champions of each planet to a personal match using a form of fighting native to that world. Do you get an idea of his abilities? Obviously he has super strength, like the flashy powers. We all love strength and speed and fighting skills, right? You may recognize some of the other elders of the universe because he's not the only one. Other beings like Grandmaster and etc. are all elders of the universe as well. No, I wasn't joking when I said he's like a Saiyan. He has a thrill with combat. It's literally explained here that thanks to the power primordial, the elders are deathless. Doesn't need air to survive. They're not really brothers, they really just have longevity in common. The secret of their longevity is because of their specific interests in life. When I say immortality, I'm talking about absolute immortality. It's talking about how he has freed them from death altogether. Death's vowed to bar all of us from her realm forever, even when being atomized or obliterated by Galactus, even when he absorbed their remains. Even saying those elders are difficult to absorb. They all regenerated inside of him and started messing him up from the inside. Now that's what you call a yikes. Thanks to being alive so long and during his opponent's fights, you can see that he goes through severe thought and thought process, like reading him like a book. Here, Thor in this particular station, reading him, he can sense the magical enchantment on Thor's hammer, for example. He reminds me of Lobo with some of his gear, like this space bike. I mean, logically speaking, it would make sense for it to be able to fly real fast. I mean, to be able to get anywhere in space, you have to be able to fly real fast. Not to mention he has an Omega class warp suit. Yeah. 12 light years away, a being feared through most of the galaxy has acquired an Omega class warp suit. He's entered my present coordinates into his Navi computer. Despite the immense distance between us, he'll be here in a mere moment. He got here less than a day, even being 12 light years away in this battle suit. I mean, think about it. His tech, when he first appeared to challenge the different heroes, he had like an impenetrable force field. So it kind of lets you know the technology they have. Wolverine and Cyclops couldn't even scratch it. So it lets you know his tech is pretty good. He's even had his times where he tried to do work for good for a time. Of course, there's like gaggy comics where he has missteps to where he gets tricked. He's a surprisingly fun type of character. He likes your standard pleasures like eating chocolate, drinking beer, and hanging out with women, like reminding me of some Lobo type stuff, dressed up like Deadpool, you know. And surprisingly, him and Nebula got cozy before. Yeah, that's funny. He became a member of the Deadpool, champion pool. Are you serious? And he has a big respect for the poster boys of Marvel's strength, like base Hulk and base Thor and stuff. But just how strong are we talking when it comes to this guy? Think of the amazing energies that made up the Big Bang and scattered across. That's one of the reasons why he can manipulate energy, agree where he has super strength, durability, and etc. And is ageless. One of the many beings he's fought like Sasquatch in this little boxing ring. Yeah, he likes to fight. With raw powers able to break out of his grips and box him up. Considering how strong the Thing and Invisible Woman is, and the fact that the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards doesn't think the Fantastic Four already, lets you know how strong he is. And they don't know what the Fantastic Four can do against the champion. Thor believes he has enough power to destroy the planet. And considering what Thor has done, yeah, this isn't a hyperbole. And notice how the heaviest hitters try to like tangle him up in a hole, like Sasquatch, Hulk, the Thing. Notice how he flexes them off to let you know his energy manipulation, the power primordial. In one of the newer-ish art styles, you can see that the promoter says he smashed planets, which is totally believable. Might I add, they state he has defeated the greatest warriors of every age. There's even some instances where they say he's stronger than even the Hulk. To really prove his power, one of the heavy hitters like Wonder Man, who's definitely a powerhouse to be respected, he boxes it up with him. Knocks out Sasquatch. Note how they say can produce punches that can level a mountain. Boxing it up with Thor. Notice how he's bleeding from the mouth, showing his power and punching power. Not to mention his battles with Silver Surfer. Seems to be decent difficulty, and Silver Surfer can't just bulldoze over him in this particular occasion. Beings that should not be underestimated, he curb stomped Colossus. Stupid vault doors. Do you really think that's going to keep him out? They use this vault to hide like a phoenix egg. Even does this to the Thing, a guy I have a video about on the channel that should not be underestimated. Look at these panels, how he's doing this to the Thing, showing his power in comparison to a brute. Ding, 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 we have a winner. His durability can withstand self-destruction of ships. Look how big this ship was. By the way, lightning bolt charged attacks from Thor he can withstand. They talk so casually about destroying planets like Swiss cheese. You know destroying planets ain't nothing for these type of characters, Hulk included and stuff. No matter which era we're talking about, even long falls from orbit he can withstand. Look at that height. Serious slugfest with Thor, headbutts and etc. Even when a promoter blasts him, he can withstand stuff like this. Even when the promoter was wielding a Tekagon, which is an Omega class weapon, up there with the Kree, Negabands, Thor's hammer, and quite possibly the Cosmic Cube. With a weapon like this, you can automatically take on powerhouses like Iron Man, Miss Marvel, and etc. Or one-shot Ultimo. So this weapon's crazy. And he's still able to take an energy and power blow from a weapon that's overpowered. So let that sink in. It's something that should not be taken lightly. This Tekagon overpowered weapon, you can use the Tekagon to amplify somebody by 100 freaking times. This is the type of stuff the champion has to endure. Even amplifying Moonstone this much, he can still withstand it. And just simply recovers, but that's none of my business. Even when Moonstone isn't amped by this weapon, she still had a beam struggle with Thor, so let you know how strong she is without it, but then she was amplified and he took this attack. Even Thunderclaps, he doesn't just automatically fall. Blast from Silver Surfer, he gets back up from it. His body's very resilient. Stupid dogs shouldn't even try. Why the heck would you use bullets on him? Even if we're talking about Ego the Living Planet's lava, that's not going to cut it. Just because space is real cold, that don't matter. Don't get it twisted. Characters like Silver Surfer can knock him out for a split second, but he gets back up and recovers pretty quickly though. Then you got this embarrassing occasion with She-Hulk he lost to. Despite all them weird showings he battled with Thor, yeah, that was kind of strange, yeah, inconsistencies. I mean, when it comes to fighting speed, it's not like the comic states super speed every fight, but it's implied. Simply because he's a trained fighter, he's a master of a number of untold fighting styles. He's learned every method of physical combat in all known galaxies. None of those other beings could last past the second round until he came to Earth and stuff and met super powerful beings. Knows martial arts of 1,000 different races. Stated he has mastered an untold 1,000 of different martial arts and fighting styles culled from across the known universe. Spends the majority of his time between championship matches practicing these arts. I mean, you got moments like this, slipping through things, guard boxing him up. Does it again. These type of occasions make sense with all this fighting experience. Heck, he's even stated that during the battle, he can read his attempt and counter accordingly. Look how he's swirling around Thor, showing his fighting speed. Skills enough to put Mantis in a hold. Someone I have a video about on the channel. You should check out her skills. She's beast, fast, and strong. Has other abilities you're probably not thinking of and stuff, Mantis. You guys know what was coming. Let me say it. Of course, he's gotten temporary power-ups. Yay. It's one of them things that can make you infinitely stronger than you normally would be. So yes, it is a cheat code. This dude even has the nerve to train other beings with the Power Stone. Even though he has sworn not to use this ever again, I'm going to show you the times he did decide to use it. I mean, he's a pretty decent powerhouse on his own, but he can destroy armies. One can say this is something he could do without the gem, but this is overkill. With the Power Gem, he completely curb stomps She-Hulk in a boxing ring. Not to mention he was playing around. He called that match a sparring match. He seems to get gradually stronger with rage. Thanks to this power gem, I got a video about what a simple one stone can do in the wrong hands. In my How Strong is the Infinity Stones video, you can see how strong his power stone is in that. Just think about that with this guy. I mean, he produces so much power, he causes seismic activity. Thanks to this gem, like look at the radius. Like that just gets ridiculous. No big deal, just blowing up the planet with collateral damage, no big deal. Beta Ray Bill gets curb stomped with this stone. Beings that are strong enough to wrestle planets from their orbits and collapse stars with his bare hands get curb stomped. Gladiator can do that, but it don't matter against his power with this stone. Poor Gladiator. Poor Drax. All these beings got put in hospital powerhouses because of this gem. Even when Adam Warlock tried to pull up on him, the fight actually had to be stopped because his life was in danger. That's a yikes. Planetary explosions, he's right in the middle of, don't even make him flinch. Beings I would say would be too strong for him in his base. Beings like Thanos, he can walk through these same blasts when he has a power gem. I mean, Thanos in his base can fight Odin one-on-one, so that's impressive. He got his head blasted off when another being used another gem against him, though, so one can say that's a limitation. Somebody else blasting you with another energy or infinity gem, that might work. It's interesting that with a gem this powerful, it actually makes him telegraph his attacks a lot more. Like he gets more stronger but loses his fighting mentality, or he becomes mentally unstable, one can say. But enough of the power gem. He doesn't need an infinity stone to be a threat. He got some other technology that allowed him to project energy. Explained it how he or she found these These allowed him to get energy projection, greatly increasing his abilities because he got these new devices. But one could say these are also a temporary power because they did not last long. Still seems to be in that powerhouse range, matching Silver Surfer in physical. It's stuff that you would expect him to do, like being able to jump through rocks, throw big boulders like this. This is light work for beings like this. Punches do damage to powerful beings like Silver Surfer. Thanos' own Sanctum, he can punch down the walls. I mean, just collateral of his power colliding with Silver Surfer. They can destroy the planet. Power to rival even my own Silver Surfer stated about the champion. Yeah, they can destroy planets. Casual stuff he should always be able to do. There's too many occasions when it comes to Silver Surfer tiers of him being a threat to him, whether it be blast power, punching power, don't matter. Even when Silver Surfer used high speed attacks, that's not an end all be all. Still can match him and react to him to some degree, one can say. Not getting blitzed. He can still be killed when beings have power gem like Drax. Don't get it twisted. It is kind of implied that Silver Surfer can beat him with some decent difficulty if you wanted to. Because, you know, Silver Surfer and those characters kind of hold back a lot. Yeah, but of course, all this, even those bracelets were considered temporary power-ups. The battles that you really need to pay attention to, I'm going to go through it panel for panel. You've seen this occasion with Thor and the Hulk. Yeah, you know the deal. Messing with the brutes, Thor, the poster boy, Hulk, one of the poster boys. To get your test of strength in the universe, of course, you got to box it up with two of the strongest superheroes that are known for their super strength and etc. You already know the champion fighting him is something that has to be done at least 1 or 2 times. But that's just about going to do it. He's one of those characters that lacks appearances, but here's the thing. I'd have it like Hulk and Thor, like, of course, in the same weight class, them going all out in their base states. But then I would say the champion, he can fight them if they're like decently casual and not bloodlusted. I can't really see him beating them if they're bloodlusted, if that makes sense. You know, Thor and Hulk have like universal multi-galactic type feats and stuff. You can see in my Hulk and Thor videos and etc. throughout the years. You know, respect him still, though. He's definitely a powerhouse to a certain degree. Maybe not the super high ends. He's definitely at least in the medium ends, if you know what I mean. But he lacks appearances. What do you guys think? But I also got to give a shout out to those that have took the time to donate to the channel. Respect the champion of the universe. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.